Journaling changed my life. Hello everyone, my name is Edna Njeri. I create lifestyle, wellness, productivity, and self-improvement content. So if any of that interests you, make sure you subscribe. Welcome to a new video. I'm going to be talking all about journaling, from the techniques I use to how journaling has changed my life and everything in between. So let us get right into it. I've always loved journaling, but I haven't always been consistent with it. So back in high school, I used to journal a lot, but then one time my journal was read. Actually, it was read a couple of times because I went to different high schools and I think it was read once, at least once in every high school. So that kind of put me off it for a while. And I've only really gotten back into it over the past 3 or 4 years. So first thing I want to talk about is how I journal. And the first and easiest and most common way I do it is free writing. For those of you who aren't familiar with free writing, it is a journaling technique where you just let your thoughts flow. It's unscripted, unedited. You can set a timer if you like, or you can set a goal to write for a specific number of pages. I love using free writing because it helps me check in with myself, kind of see where I'm at mentally. And I also find it really helpful to just get in touch with myself because it's totally uncensored. You're just writing for yourself just to see kind of where your mind will take you. The next way I love to journal is through morning pages, which is a journaling technique where you journal first thing in the morning, and the goal is to fill up 3 pages of your journal. So it's kind of like a form of free writing, but it's specifically done in the morning and it's specifically to fill 3 pages. And then the other form of journaling that I really enjoy is future self journaling, which is a form of journaling where you answer specific questions. And the questions are: my daily affirmation is, today I will focus on shifting my pattern of, I am grateful for, 3 traits my future self will have are, the person I am becoming will experience more, I have an opportunity to be my future self today and when I think about who I'm becoming, I feel. I really enjoy future self journaling because you're journaling in the present, but it's really helping you get in touch with your future self. So when it comes to actually journaling, I wanted to briefly talk about my journaling routine. So how I set up, when I do it, and all of that. Typically, I like to do it in the morning. So right after I get up, I go ahead and meditate, and then I'll proceed to journal. But if something comes up during the day and I just feel like I need to get it out of my head, then I'll go ahead and make time to journal, maybe in the evening or whenever I get a chance throughout the day. And the most important part of my journaling routine for me is that I do it as required. So there will be months where I will be journaling consistently just because I need it. Maybe the mental space I'm in, whatever's happening in my life, I just need to stay on top of where my thoughts are. But then there'll be some times where I'll just stick to meditating and that'll be enough self-care for me. So I found that when I'm too strict about making sure I do it every single day of my life, journaling becomes a source of stress for me when it was meant to be a release and it was meant to help me stay calm, stay present. So I eliminated that pressure of having to do it every single day. I do it as required, and I think that would be something I would advise, that if you are starting out to journaling, just find a routine that works for you. It might be every day, it might be once a week. Find something that works for you and that feels good. The whole point of it is supposed to be helpful. It's not supposed to be something else to add to your stress and something else that you have to worry about. If it gets to that point, it's kind of defeats the purpose. Something else that I do in terms of my journaling routine is using a notebook and a pen that I like. I like notebooks that are spirally bound, so I could turn the entire page and write on a flat surface on either side. And I prefer to use a fine tip pen. So that's typically the stationery I'll go for. And the final part of my journaling routine is I lean into what I feel like I need. So for example, this week my journaling has been actually pretty consistent. It's been every single day. I've done some journaling around the harvest moon, which was the full moon in Pisces that just happened on Monday night. I've also had a free writing session, and I've also done some shadow work this week through journaling. So when it's time to journal, I'll just lean into what I feel like. Do I just feel like writing? Do I just need to write because there's so many things going on in my head? Or do I want to look up some prompts because I'm working on a specific aspect of my mindset? So it won't always be the same thing. When I say that journaling has changed my life, it actually has in a couple of different ways. The first one being that it clears my head. Meditation and having like a mindfulness practice does help clear my head, but journaling takes it to a different level because I'm able to just let it all out, let it all flow, it's uncensored. It also helps with my creativity, which I think is partly tied to me having a clear mind. I could be journaling and ideas come to me in the process. Like I could be writing about something I'm going through and I could think of other people are possibly going through the same thing, and then I could come up with an idea of the same. Or when I'm journaling, I realize lessons that I've learned, and then I find ways to turn that into content. So it really has helped with my creativity. It also has helped me keep tabs on my emotions and my mental state in general, because I'm able to see what's coming up consistently, what's new that I've never journaled before, what's something that's really bothering me. Journaling is like a safe space. You're able to just be uncensored and just let your thoughts flow. I find that to be really helpful to just see where I'm at realistically. Journaling has also really helped me stay present, and I actually do think it can be a part of your mindfulness practice, because the thing that usually takes us away from the present moment is our mind. Our mind wanders, you start thinking about the future, you start thinking about the past. But if you've had a consistent practice which is helping you let out what's going on in your mind, or let's say, for example, you've been doing shadow work through journaling, which is usually focused like on the past, then you've let that out of your mind. It's just not stuck in your head. So you're able to be more present because you're not consistently thinking about the past and the future. You have a practice in your day which allows you to just let everything out. And so then for the rest of your day, it's easier for you to catch yourself if you're wondering and then come back to the present moment. The final thing, which actually I do think is a part of staying present, journaling has helped me let go of a lot of things. It's allowed me to move on. It's allowed me to give myself closure in situations where I'm not able to get it from whoever I would need it from. I can just write it out as many times as I need to. It could be a whole week, the same theme is coming up, but I'm able to let it out and continuously let just my thoughts flow. And then with time, the same thing won't weigh as heavy on me a week after I've been journaling about it. So I'm able to let go of things and move on. So if you're watching this and you're wondering how to start journaling, I'm going to give you a few tips of what you can do to start journaling right now if you haven't done it before, or how you can pick back up on your practice. I would say start with what you have. You don't need to go out and buy a journal with actual prompts. You just need a notebook. Work with what you have. I think sometimes if you're like, oh, okay, I want to start journaling and now I need to get a book with journal prompts in it, it kind of just procrastinates a thing, and then now you can start being picky about the type of journal you want, and then that just kind of delays the whole thing. So I would say start with what you have. All you need is your notebook and your pen. If anything, you can go out and buy a cute notebook that will be dedicated to that. But you may even have a notebook just lying around in your house that you could use to that just to start. And then as you go on, you can start to sort of invest into the practice a bit more. The next piece of advice I would give is ask yourself why you're journaling. What do you hope to gain from your journaling session? How much time do you have to journal? Where's your head at currently? Like, what are your biggest concerns? Because all of those things will now help you determine what type of journaling you'll do, what journaling technique will work for you as a beginner or as someone who's trying to get back into it. If you need to, find some journaling prompts. Sometimes you may be clear on your intention behind journaling, but then you're not sure where to start. You might know that, okay, I'm going to be journaling because I want to work on self-discovery, I want to get to know myself a bit more, but you're not sure where to start with that. So having that intention, you can go ahead and look up journal prompts. You can literally go on Google and search for journaling prompts for self-discovery if that's what you're looking for. You can also use Pinterest or even Instagram. I've taught you guys about Sophia Anamato in my daily self-care habits video. I'll leave her Instagram linked below as well because I really love her journal prompts. I literally save them all into one folder on Instagram, and so whenever I'm journaling and I need specific prompts, I'll just go look them up. So if you need to, definitely find some prompts, and that always starts with intention. Why are you journaling? What do you hope to gain from it? And then that can lead you into the types of prompts you want to look into, or if you just want to use free writing as your journaling technique. My final tip is that you should try out different things. Try free writing, try using journal prompts, try morning pages, try using future self journaling. There's so many different techniques. Try out different things, and that will also help you when you get to the point where you're like, okay, I want to buy a specific journal for this that has the prompts written in it. Then you can know what journal to go for because you've been doing it for a while. Don't restrict yourself. You might find that you try free writing and then it works for you for a period and then you're like over it, so then you want some prompts. Play around with it, try out different things, and over time it'll be easier for you to lean into exactly what you need on a specific day or at a specific time. Finally, I want to talk about a few journaling techniques that I don't use consistently, but I have tried here and there and I found them to be helpful. The first one is dream journaling. It's just literally writing down your dreams first thing when you wake up. With that, you'll be able to remember your dreams more often. You'll be able to notice patterns in your dreams. And dream journaling can also help with shadow work, because sometimes your shadow self peeps out at you through your dreams. So dream journaling can be helpful. I do it occasionally when I have like really distinct dreams, especially about people like my loved ones. Then I'll write it down, but I'm not consistent with it. The next journaling technique, which I actually have never tried, but I think it's really cool, super artsy, so much fun, is bullet journaling. So it's so cool because you'll see, I'll put some images here so you guys can see in case you're not familiar with bullet journaling. It's so artsy, cool. All you need is like a blank notebook, and you can create different themes for different months. You can have your to-do lists, your reminders, your habit trackers, all in one notebook. All you need is a blank notebook, literally like an artist's pad type of notebook. I would really recommend it if you're creative into doodling. It really will help you be mindful because you kind of really have to be present when you're creating the template for the month. Another journaling technique I want to talk about is unsent letter journaling. That's literally where you write out a letter, but it's only intended for your eyes. So you could write out a letter, for example, to a friend who you're upset with, a loved one that's deceased, but it's only intended for your eyes. So no one else will see it, but you write it out just to get things off your chest, and it can be really helpful with clarity and closure. I love writing letters to my friends, to people I love. Acts of service is one of my top love languages when it comes to giving. Also receiving, actually. So I really like writing letters, and unsent letter journaling can be helpful if you're trying to get some closure, but you don't really want to deal with the whole confrontation thing. Highly recommend. There's also reflection journaling, which is all about reviewing your day and getting in touch with how you feel about the events of the day. So maybe you've had a major life event, or you've had a particularly tough day. Reflective journaling could be useful for you just to get in touch with how you're feeling, or even just to, let's say it's been a really positive day, just to have the memory of how you felt after that day. Reflective journaling could come in handy for that. Finally, there is gratitude journaling, which, as the name states, is all about writing down what you're thankful for and really putting it down in detail. Something I know about gratitude journaling is it can really make you happier over time because you sort of train your mind to focus on the positives rather than the negatives in your life. I think I've talked about this quote before, but it's, imagine if tomorrow you only woke up with the things you are grateful for today. So that can put a lot of things into perspective. And gratitude journaling can really help you just be a bit more optimistic about your life. So that is it for this video. I just wanted to talk about journaling because it has had such an impact on me, and it could also have the same impact on you. This is your sign to start journaling. This is it. You don't even have to use a notebook if you don't want to use a notebook. You can write down on your computer, but there's just something about pen and paper. You can also just use a voice recorder and journal that way just to get things out of your head. But journaling is really life-changing, and I highly recommend it if you haven't done it before. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was interesting. Let me know other journaling techniques that you use. Please recommend. I'm always willing to try out some new techniques. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.